Welcome to the stream, you magical monster, you. And I say you because I only know of one person in the stream, and that's the Bull, because the Bull's the only one who said hello thus far. Welcome to the stream. Here's to you and your over-engineered game. I should actually talk to Jason about his video today. Jason Wyman posted a video today about common sense, really, in a way. Just make your game. Don't worry about over-engineering it, because really, most likely you won't need a lot of the stuff that you think you're going to need. Better just to get on with it. And I thought to myself, man, but that is the opposite of how I operate by design in a way, because one, I'm making stuff for the asset store. My own games too, of course, but I put it on the asset store. And when you put something on the asset store, you have to imagine people are going to use it in different ways that you did not intend or think of. And so you do want to make things a little, not necessarily over-engineered, but you want to make them available. Does that make sense? And the other thing is that, and I do know that there are things this projectile system has all sorts of different projectiles. And that's because I know I'm going to need different projectiles. I'm going to need a projectile that goes forward. I'm going to need one that, has some different options for wiggling and movement. I'm going to need one that can shoot more than one thing at a time. I'm going to need one that is automated or semi-automated like that. I'm going to need one that you can, just hold down or start and stop and stuff like that. I'm going to need one that homes in on targets that I get a few times. I'm going to need these things. So is it over-engineering if I do that now? It might be, because I'm making them before I need them. But in a way, I'm also not making them until I need them. I'm making the foundational stuff and then going from there. But yeah, I get it. This is what we did last night, this machine gun one, where we can go around and go around and shoot this machine gun, basically. That was fun, wasn't it? There's more to do, though. I hope you're doing okay. Oh, what happened to my stream? Suddenly, my stream turned blurry on me. Is my internet crapping out again today? It didn't rain today. Well, oh, man. Did I crap out? Let's see. Let me know. Did I crap out? Is my internet dead? It seems just extremely slow. I'm getting low resolution and very few frames per second. And that's just a shame. Because I need those sweet, sweet frames per second. So I have stuff to do. I wanted to get through some of these support requests too. I gotta check this email. I'll have to do that off the stream. Mark that unread. Mark that unread. Anything else? Just those two. Okay. Pushing Blackboard. I think currently that's no. Depends on how many data you have in Blackboard. It's for something later. Perfect. Cheers to that. And then proficiency. Okay. Making good progress. Both of these are actually giving me the expected value cut in half by my condition. Okay. Just by looking at final value. Value, that's yes. Yes. That's a good call out. So this actually gets me sometime, and I need to perhaps rename it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. So the documentation page on I'm not showing you the full thing. Okay, the documentation page on what Chris here is talking about. If you go to infinitipbr.com, he's talking about game modules 4, which is awesome. The silent majority judges you. I can't remember what that was in reference to, but I like it nonetheless because it's probably true. Scripting docs, and if we go to game modules, we can look at the stats, and it's outlined here. It's outlined here, basically. Value, or points rather, points plus base value plus what is it called? Other value. Other value. And I don't know orders of operations in math because I didn't like math in school. And so I'm going to do that. Times base proficiency plus other proficiency plus 1 equals final stat. Other here, let's remove this, is other things that are affecting the stat, like conditions, items, etc. Generally, you yeah. So final value is equal to this. And that's different from final stat. So what would final value be more appropriately named, if anything, to avoid this confusion? That's a good question for all of you. Hi, Corey, by the way. Bedmus is the pneumatic. I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's the question for all of you, perhaps, too. Instead of value, what should it be? We have points, value, and proficiency equal the final stat, right? So the example, if you have 10 points in your strength stat, a base value of 0, base proficiency of 0, which means no change. 0 is no change. Without affecting, there's going to be 10 plus 0 times 1 plus 0 equals 10. 10 points. But if we add the sword of strength with a plus 3 to value, that means base value goes up to 3, so 13. And then if we have body bone as plus 1 proficiency and elf race as minus 1 proficiency, then this equals a total of plus 0.1 proficiency. So we will get 10 plus 3 times 1 plus 0.1 equals 13 times 1.1 equals 14.3. Boom. So that's... Why do we separate out? Because points is something you assign to a counter system. So you can assign that to something like gold or experience where it's just a counter. You can also assign that to a stat where, like strength, you can actually assign points to boost the value. But it's an up and down counter. That's what points are. Oftentimes in a game, you might want to read and display points to the players. As separate from the values. Base value and base proficiency you can use in any way you want. You can add to those or subtract from those as you'd like. And then the other are things that come and go with other objects. And so that's why. So, okay. Excuse me. So that's that. And I learned I need to click these headers because the headers oftentimes show me stuff that's not listed in this side thing. Unity discussion. What's the discussion? Coming back to Unity and game dev for the first time in almost 3 years. Congratulations. Is it still running? I thought I just told someone the other day that it's not still running. Legacy.infinitypbr.com. Is it still running? Oh, it is still running. Oh. I thought it wasn't. But glad you're happy. Told someone the other day it wasn't. Ew. Oops. Game modules discussions. Horse, Anim Set Pro, or Anim controller. Yes, so they should. Ultimately, any values for speed or other such things that affect the animal movement, etc., are all things that can be stat objects, and you'd just need a method to pass that value into the other assets systems, or etc. So that's a little work on that person's part, but yeah, it'll work with anything. AI discussion general. AI, are we still mad at AI? Are we happy with AI? You know, Chris, thank you for this. I literally found the same thing the same day. Thanks for this. I found the same thing the same day, and that's also helped me confirm the suggestions are co-pilot, not writer. Thanks. There you go. And safety buff, atavism. I cannot tell you that because I don't use atavism, but the atavism form should be able to. Okay, so that's that. We did that. Woohoo! Have a beverage. This is just whiskey. This is called Brothers Bond whiskey. It's a bottle with the words Brothers Bond on it. My brother gave it to me. Get it for my birthday. And it's good. It's sippable. Yep, that's it. So tonight is actual. It's not cocktails, I guess, because this is not. I suppose it's not a cocktail, but it's bringing cocktails and coding into view. Not all cocktails and coding have cocktails, mind you. Oftentimes, cocktails and coding doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, I've been putting off this spread pattern. Should we just do it, or should I try to do a laser? Because the what we did last night was this this machine gun, which is an instant hit, where everything else actually fires a projectile. This one just instantly fires. It actually takes one frame, so it takes one frame to figure out what if it hits something. And the next one I wanted to do was a laser, where it's like a constant. It's just on. So it's essentially like just a laser beam, that type of thing. But, and then I need to do arrows. That's the other thing I haven't done yet, is projectiles that use gravity or something. But I think I want to say that the only real thing with an arrow is really the trajectory that matters, because an arrow is no different than a forward missile that just has gravity, right? Is launched with physics. So it's very similar. It might be slightly different. We'll see. And then the difference between fireball and fireball times 5 is just, we can look at it because I like to show these things and remind myself. Fireball is a one-shot spawn behavior. Fireball times 5 is 5 at 90 degrees spawn behavior. The other details are exactly the same, which is why they are fireball and fireball times 5. So the thing I've been ignoring, which I need to not ignore, when we look at the 10-ball shooter, we got this spawn behavior, and we have a spread angle on the X, we get spread angle on the Y works. What we don't have is the spread pattern working. Corey, I don't know if you intended that to be a joke, but I took it as a joke, and I appreciate it. I definitely took it as a joke. I like it. I think I should do this first because when we do lasers, there's going to be the opportunity to do lasers with multiple lasers over a spread, and this will come into play there too. Ultimately, because they will be in different trajectories, and while they don't necessarily stop until you call stop, Yeah. They still have this spawn behavior that works. So let's get this working. Spread patterns. Let's dig into it. All right. Spread patterns. Okay, so we're going to need to do some refactoring if I remember correctly. Let's close this for now. Okay, we're going to have to do some refactoring. I'm going to just delete my zombie code. I think it's been long enough that we don't need the zombie code. January 13th, that's 10 days. 10 days? 10 days. 11 days, I guess. 11 days. I made that mistake earlier at work. I was doing a query. I was looking for 10 years worth of data, and I took 11 years worth of data because I did 2023 through 2013. I'm not yet. That's the big thing. I'm not doing any of it yet. So this is the launch projectiles here, and this is what we need to refactor because it's just too damn long. And note to future Andrew: if we want to have an option to only delay before the first projectile, then update this line here. Ah, yes, because we have the option to delay between projectile groups and the option to delay between individual projectiles. Yeah, so this is an infinite loop protection. And repeat count -1 means infinite forever, and repeat delay 0 means that it would just do infinite all at once, which we don't want to do. So we do a delay of 0.05 seconds if those conditions are met. So we just protect ourselves. Then delay between repetitions wait, we do a new wait for seconds. So we cache those wait for seconds in those variables, and then we do this. So this is the big chunk here. Is ultimately we're gonna have to move this into multiple different. I don't know. I don't exactly know yet. I don't know yet. So so do while. So do this while that. This is the first time I've actually used a do while. Actually. Did you know that do while existed? Tell me in the. Can I do a poll? Am I able to do a poll? Let me try something. What's this plus button do? Ah, start a poll. Did you know about do while loops? Start poll. All right, so now you have a poll that you can do. Did you know about the do while loops? Anyways, so do this while that. How's that going to show? Anyways, so let's see. What are we doing while? Delay before projectile wait, cache Euler angles. Let's see what this means. What are we doing here? Rotate and transform Euler angles. Transform Euler angles. So this is going to be the Euler angles of the object that's doing the spawning. So let me just put a note here. This will cache the angles of the object doing the spawning, both the rotating portion of the object and the tilting. They may be the same or different. In this case, they are different. All right, so we cache the Euler angles. And then so the last is actually, let's rename this to be previous. So the previous rotation, we're going to set those to be just the angles of the... Oh, interesting. We should probably change this to be X, because the current angle Y, we're using the tilting X. It confuses me too. Oh, the one person, probably Corey, Ah, there. See, now I know I can do a test with only one viewer, though. It's, you know, you got 100%. So we're saving the previous angle. By default, that's going to start just forward, and then we're going to determine the angle and reference pass this as a reference variable. So our we get the previous angle saved as well. So we can dig into that, and then this is going to be current angle. It is used down here. Oh, interesting. I wonder if we need to call it here. It's basically saying, because we recall it over here. So I don't know if we actually need to do that. But let's dig into determine angle X and determine angle Y. And look, it doesn't even look like we use last rotation. Interesting. Angle adjustment is the number of projectiles. All right, this is where we have to start getting creative, because I kind of coded myself into a corner. That's what I did. I coded myself into a corner because where do we ever use previous? We never use the previous one, so let's see if we can just remove this for now, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, we'll revert, because maybe it is needed and I just didn't realize it. But it seems like it's not used, so we're just gonna see if that works first before I move on, because that might make things a little bit easier. Okay, it looks like there are 10 balls being shot. All right, so that appears to still be working. That's good. Not Discord. I'm still doing the thing where I move the icon over and my brain does not figure it out. I probably should just move it back and not try to even worry about that. But okay, so then the other thing is, do I need to do this, or can I just set these and forget these? And move them down there. Let's find out. It appears to be working still. For now, I'm going to actually make this only, say, 3, so that it's more clear, because I can't count 10 while it's going like this. It's just too much. So 1, 2, 3. But weirdly, it's not doing any delay now. That's odd, right? Delay between projectiles is 0.5. Is there just not enough? That's weird. I guess it's just too fast. Interesting. Okay, so let's do a couple things. 0.13. So it should take almost a full second. There we go. It's just very fast still. That's all, but it is delayed. I'm gonna skip this ad. I got an ad for myself. That's nice. Not for myself, but you know. Okay, so it is working. It's just very fast. 1/20th of a second. Okay. Damn it, I did it again. All right, so appears to be working. So, how are we going to do this? So we're going to move this up here, and I'm going to say, put a note here, save the current angles of the spawning object. I can remove my debugs. Total step what is this? Where is this? Okay. So this is where what we're really doing here is doing a left to right one. I'm just wondering if I just move all this code over and then just make a different one for each one, or do I do a method that gets the correct angle and then keep all this spawning part, right? Okay, well we're passing in the launch position, so we can remove this out to a different method. To do is pooling still. So let's do a new method. We're going to do private void spawn projectile, and we're not going to take that suggestion. We are going to need angle X, angle Y, so it's going to be a float angle X, float angle Y, and we're going to copy all this. Let's see if we have everything. So angle X, angle Y, and I don't know why these have to be reversed, but they do apparently. All right, so we're spawning now at this angle. So that means we should be able to replace this with current angle Y, current angle X. This is, I don't, All right, so now we are matching the X and Y's of that one. So I don't know why it has to be reversed. It's math. Okay, so we have these lines that can be removed, and then we just do that. Okay, spawn projectile. So angle step is going to be spread angle X divided by number of projectiles minus 1. Is there a chance that's a 0? Angle adjustment. Start position. We don't use this. Interesting. All right. Very complex. I agree. All right. Let's remove our stuff that we are have commented out just to make things a little bit more simple. All right, so spawn projectile. All right, now I'm going to take your advice, Corey. I think I'm going to separate it out. Let's see. So do total angles. So I think we need to do all of this. This is the meat of it. The rest is just repetition. Okay, so we're going to move this to a project left to right. And I don't know what we need in that yet because I just didn't want to think about it. So we're just going to paste that whole chunk here and see. Oh, shit. It's a... God damn it. So we're inside a coroutine. And we have these yield breaks and stuff. Okay, so maybe we should do it a different way. Let's see. Right now, there's only 4 options, by the way. There's random intervals, negative to positive, negative, or positive to negative. Random value between min and max can be any value between those. Random chosen, but will be on an equal interval between min and max. And then we're gonna add nothing. Random intervals. No repeat is going to be randomly chosen, but may repeat. All right, there we go. So we've got 5 different options here. Let's see. Okay, what are we going to do? 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 I'm going to end the poll. Two votes. 2 people said yes. Well, you all knew more than me before I did it here, so there you go. So okay, actually, if we're randomizing, we can still keep track of this. That doesn't matter. It won't have any impact, but we can still keep track of it. So really, the only thing that we need to worry about is this section right here. Determining the angles. So let's try moving that out. Private void. And let's do actually private float. Determine angles left, or we'll say negative to positive. And we're going to return current angle X, current angle Y as a tuple. And think, can we do... that? I think we can. Okay, so we can do this, and we're going to need to pass in, I guess, this value. Okay. Well, let's see if this works before we move on. It's all over the place. It's not working, basically. So, let us take a step back and see if that's the problem or if I messed up somewhere else. I sometimes forget to test. All right, so it wasn't that most recent change. So let's go back a little bit further. We can always, well, let me actually copy this. Okay, we're gonna just kind of, what are we gonna copy? We're gonna do this. We're gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy into, no, not that. We're gonna copy it to, I don't know. I just don't want to rewrite it because I'm lazy. So we're gonna copy it here. And then I'm going to copy it to my utilities thing here, just to save it so it's a different script. Okay. But it's still in utilities, right? Yes. Okay. So we're going to undo until it's working again. Figure out where the hell he went wrong. Save it there. Press play. I think it will still be broken. Yep, okay. Oh, this could be why. Nope. Star angle. We didn't change that. Okay. So, go back. I want to kind of save this too, actually. So we're going to put this in our utilities. Zombie code here. Okay. All right. So undo. We don't need to do that yet. Is it still broken? I changed a lot. I thought we had checked this. Still angle 90 on the X. All right. Damn it. Whoa. So it's the spawn projectile that's the issue? And I can't undo any more? Okay, so my guess is I've got these reversed. Let me see. That was what I was thinking as I was going through. Yeah, that was it. So I had those reversed. Like I said, I Oh. Okay. That was just in the spawn projectile. Wait, but I'm doing it twice here. Wait a minute. Wait, just 5,000 minutes. All right, so that appears to be working. All right, so let's redo stuff. What was it that we saved over here? We saved the spread pattern. We saved this. So I'm going to copy the method over first. And then the call to that method. This is current angle. It's this chunk right here. So we will do that, and check to see if it works. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so this means that we have one version of it going, and that is this determine angles negative to positive. So we're going to create another method here, sorry, for the many methods. We're going to call this determine angles. And then we are going to say if what is it? Spread pattern. Spread pattern X, spread pattern Y. Oh, shit. 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 And I'll tell you why shit. Because I forgot that I separate out the X and Y. Which means you can go left to right. But if you have a value in your spread angle Y, you can also randomly do up and down. So you can mix and match, which is pretty cool if we're creating interesting bullet effects or spawn effects patterns. That means we need to separate out the two damn things. It's just these. This is the only place I use it right now. All right. God damn it. All right. So, determining angles. Float angle X, float angle Y. And we're going to return angle X, angle Y. Okay, so they're now definitely going to be initialized. All right, so we're going to do two things. First, we're going to separate this out. So we can probably make this a method that does just one of these. Total angle step. Nope. I only want to do it here. Okay, let's just not And then current angle is going to be current angle. Then we're going to have to do this other float Euler angle. And so to do this, we're going to have to say angle x is equal to determine angles negative to positive, passing in only total angle step x, and for x, total rotating transform y. And then this gets removed. And for angle y, we pass in total steps y, and we pass in tilting angles x. Okay. And then we're only going to be returning a single float now. It's going to be current angle. And this is going to be unused. All right, so wait a minute. What are we missing here? A total angle step. Euler angle. This is what we're passing in. Okay. So we are going to get our current angle by determining the angle. Determine angle x versus determine angle y. What's the difference? There is a difference. Ah, my God. So we can't have just one method to do both, does that mean? High Tech Dave, 99. I fucking hate math. It's really just the geometry and trigonometry. Sophomore year of high school. Last year of math, I decided to take. Junior year and senior year, no math. Why? Because I just didn't like it. Didn't like it. A terrible teacher in honors math 8th grade, got bad grades. That guy was confusing as all hell. Got demoted into regular math for 9th grade, but I had to do it with the sophomores because I had already done the freshman math, even though I got a bad grade in it. And then sophomore year, was it sophomore year? Yeah, I think it was sophomore year. Sophomore year, ended up doing, I don't know, whatever. I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a little while. A few years since high school. Just like 5. 6 maybe. So I guess we're going to have to do separate ones here. And the reason why we have to do separate ones here is because determine angle x and determine angle y have separate methods. But they are so similar. Let's see, can they be? We'd have to pass these values in. Let me see. Private float determine min angle and then float rotation, float start angle, float spread angle. it's doing it for me. That's nice of it. So we can do that, I suppose. And then that would mean really this is going to be return determine angle. And we're going to pass in our Y rotation and our start angle X, spread angle X, and angle adjustment X. Same values. And if that's what we're doing here, then when we do determine angle X, instead of that, we'll have to do a bool is X, and then we'll have to do is X question mark, and if X, then we do something, otherwise we do something else. And what we're really doing here is going to be determine angle with the Euler angle and all these values. Otherwise, we're going to determine angle with our Euler angle and all the Y values. We're going to have to test this to make sure it works. Okay. True and false. All right. Determine angles. We'll see. Does this work? We'll see. No. I mean, okay. Close. But it's clearly not going forward. So, let's decompact it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to override that value with this other one just to see if these methods directly are working. Just trying to isolate the issue, really. All right, so they do appear to be working. And I'm going to make this back to 10 just to kind of double check. All right, that appears good. All right, so it's these direct methods are working, so it must be an issue with my combination of these. Current angle. Oh, wait a minute. What's the difference? Rotation. No. Start angle X. Start angle X. Spread angle. Plus angle adjustment X. And angle adjustment X. current angle plus equals y rotation plus equals rotation. So they seem the same, do they not? Am I overthinking this? I might be overthinking this. So one of the things I want to avoid is doing a lot of the math, the tedious math here, and doing it instead in this utilities class, which only has a couple things right now. To determine an angle, all I need to know is a lot of values. I need to know the starting angles, the current angles of the object that's spawning it. I need to know the number of projectiles. I need to know the range of the angles. Separate out a lot of these for X and Y. I need to know which step we are on. So there's actually a lot that we need to know to determine which angle, and then do different math for each type. So, okay. So what's the difference between determine angles and determine angle X? Current angle equals start angle minus spread divided by 2. Again, current angle for X is going to start angle X, spread X. So for determining the angle X, we use the Y rotation, but we use the start X, spread X, angle adjustment X. Okay. So for the Y, we use all the X values. Well, okay. Determine angle X, we just pass in the Y rotation and use the X values. Determine angle Y, we pass in the X rotation and use all the Y values. So I'm going to go back up here. Let's make sure we're doing that right. So let's kind of bring this out a little bit here. Angle, what was it going to get? No, not that. Is going to be determine angle. And we're going to pass into this This doesn't feel right. Maybe it is right. Okay, so I just want to do it higher up on the in the stack. Is that the right word? Higher up, just so that we can get done. And why are we not having total angle step X, Y? confused myself. We should be using these values. I've definitely confused myself. Okay, so that's wrong. Let me quickly try something while it's fresh in my mind. Nope. Okay. So I had it right, but the problem is that the angle of the character is not being taken into account. Somewhere along the lines, I'm losing that. That value. If I just do this, what happens? All right, doesn't change at all. That's I expected it to not work. Somewhere along the line, I'm losing my values. Okay, I'm going back to what worked. Did this work? Let's find out. All right, so this works now. All right. More steps forward now. All right, so we are determining our angles and we're passing in total step X and Y. And returning our current angles to use. And then, so this works. We're passing in total step Y. Our rotation, this is what we're missing. Okay, so we're going to remove this method entirely and just do directly in the determine angle. We'll see if this works. Nope. Interesting. What's the missing link here between these and that? So let me just copy this, go back here. And again, let me just make sure this is the working version. This is not my favorite moment of game dev stuff. All right, so this is the working version. And this is not the working version. Angle, determine angle. Total step X. Determine angle negative to positive. Okay. So I'm going to rename this to be object Euler angle. And so in the right version, I'm passing in this and this and using that there. So I need to put this on here and this on here. And at what point do I use total angle step? Well, I just don't know. This is a total angle step. So we do this. Then we add this. And this. Okay. Let's try that. Nope. Where am I going wrong? In the working one, which is here again, we are passing in total angle step. Which is the X version if it's X. Object Euler angle. What's breakfast with Unity 5.0 bullet spread? Are you telling me somebody else has already done this? That I'm not the first one to do this? Okay, hold on. I need to figure this out. This works, this doesn't. Let's move these two up higher. Or all three of these, I guess. Up higher. So that we can see them more in context, perhaps. Where does this get used? These appear to be the same. Though I wonder. What if I just do X and Y and pass in just those values? No, because this works. We've already determined that this works. Okay. Object user angle is this. Total angle steps is only used at the end. If it's X, we do 1, 2, 3. I've still not seen the difference here. 2 examples. I'll have to look at it off the stream, Corey. I'll try to remember to do that off the stream. In fact, let me just copy it, YouTube, and paste it because I don't want to get any issues. 8 years ago. All right, so I'll watch this off the stream if I can remember to. But I still want to figure out what the F is going on here. So again, let's just confirm this part is working. Appears to be working. All right, so that is good. What we're trying to do, what are we trying to do? We want to simplify it, really. So I'm gonna simplify it. Let's just simplify the heck out of this. We're going to, I think I'm reverting some stuff, but that's okay. We're gonna get both, determine the angles. Object rotation, we're going to call this object rotation, and then object rotation. I'm just going to do that here. And then float object tilt. Wait a freaking minute. So this is not the right working one. This is the work. God damn it. Mm-hmm. I have been delaying fixing this because I knew it was going to be a headache. And I don't actually have a headache. It's just being a pain in the bum. Okay, so I had inadvertently overwritten the method and didn't remember. And so, essentially, this is now the working version. And what we can try, I want to simplify these two. So let's use the AI. See if we can get the AI to simplify these, because this is working, and I just want to see if we can simplify this. Determine angle X, determine angle Y. All right, so let's ask Mr. or Miss or they AI, the AI. AI actions, new chat. I'm getting confused by my code here. Can this be simplified? And let's see what it says. While I take a sip of whiskey like a human. It says it's clear and understandable, but I didn't agree. It's not much different. Was actually thinking perhaps it can be combined into fewer methods. Can it? Should it be? Is it fine the way it is? This down to this. It's definitely shorter. All right, let's try, instead of just deleting the code, because that's a recipe for disaster, let's see if our AI code works first, and then let me look at it. AI code, did you work? Apparently you did work. All right, so let's look at it. Is this easier? It's certainly less lines. Oh, interesting. Why do we use negative rotate angle? That doesn't make any sense. Why do we use negative rotate angle here? Mm-hmm. So it was working, but I think if we tried to do it on the y-axis, it wouldn't have worked. All right, let's copy this over. Yeah, we don't need the isx in this version. Okay, let's see if it works. Ah, the freaking connection. I need to call the company again. Once I saw on a speed test an upload speed of 20 megabits per second. They said it should be 40, but 20 is sufficient. But then it went back down to 4, and 4 is better than 0.5, which is what it was for a while. Let's check with this and 90. This should now be top down. Sure enough. And then if we do both 90, we should be at a diagonal. All right. So this appears to be working. And I do think this is less code and easier to understand. So angle X, angle Y. Okay, we're going to rename this negative to positive. Negative. All right. Okay, let's do a new AI action. This code makes projectiles spawn from the negative value to the positive value. I'd like to make a version that goes the other way, from positive value to negative. I think everything is basically the same, just the math needs to change. I think, but I'm not sure. Is that the only change down here? Is this the exact same? Let's test it. So let's first set up the value. So we're going to say var current float current angle x equals 0. And then we will not do the var here and just assign that. We're going to say if oh, god damn it. That's right. That's right. Remember earlier when I was like, oh, separate out the x and the y. Okay, then we're going to do that up here. If spread pattern x, it's doing all sorts of things. It's learning. And current angle x equals that. Positive to negative, then we will do positive to negative. That. These other ones, it just made shit up. So I don't know if those will actually work, but there's that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the y. See if it fills in the blanks. All right. Determine negative power y, x, y, y, y. Okay, it seems to have done that. There's a lot of if-else's and all that crap, but we can refactor in a bit. So we now need to set this to be negative to positive, and we're just going to do negative positive on the y2. We're only going to be testing, well, we'll test out the x, the y2, but all right. Now let's make this positive to negative. Boom. All right. Now let's make this 90. Now it should go left to right and top to bottom. Or right to left and top to bottom. Sure enough. And now if we make this positive to negative, it should go right to left and bottom to top. There it is. Alrighty then. So those ones are working. Save it. Save progress. Get to a save point. Save your progress. All right. There's going to be a lot of zombie code here. Now, what the hell is it doing with the random? Is the random just working? Let's just see. Random intervals didn't look like it was right, but all right, it's sort of working, but it's not taking into account the rotation of the spawner. So let's kind of look at that. There's zombie code, some stuff here that we aren't using anymore. We now are only using these two, I believe. So we will say private float determine angle random. What we need here, total angle step, maybe float rotation, float start, angle, float spread, angle, float, whatever the last thing is, angle adjustment. I don't know how many of these we actually need. And then what are we passing through? Which one is the second value is the thing we're adding, which is rotation in this view. So it's really, suppose this. It's gonna be that plus this for the X, and that plus this for the Y. All right. And then this can actually be deleted. I think that might be enough. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's almost working right, but it's not taking into account. Let's go back to our thing here. All right, so let's see if it can figure it out from the... Whoop, wrong. I didn't mean to go full screen. I don't know what happens when I go full screen. Let's see if the AI can figure this one out for me, because I don't want to think. Determine angle random needs to be fleshed out. Can you do that? Please. Please. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, that looks like it might work. I was just comparing it to the other method, make sure we had all the various steps there. The details, if it doesn't work, well, we'll have to look at the details. So let's look at the details. Okay, so we're getting a random factor. This is just a value between 0 and 1. So this should give us... Well, in this one, our current angle is going to be our start angle, which is, say, 0, minus our spread angle divided by 2, 90 degrees divided by 2, so negative 45, plus the angle adjustment. And we're passing in the angle adjustment, which is the angle adjustment y, which is all the steps. Okay. Oh, but you know what we didn't do? Actually use the method that we just created. So that could be y. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's not quite working right because we got some going behind us. We should be at a 90-degree angle, but it seems to be going almost a 180-degree angle, right? Or more than that. It's going behind and not much to the left. Okay. So it's close, but not quite right. So we really just need to find a random... What's total angle step? Yeah, this is... We don't need all this. We really just need to get a random angle between negative start and positive start. So we're going to say calculate a random angle between those two. All right. Random angle is start angle. random range between those two values. And then we're just going to add our rotation, and then we're going to return that. Because for the random, we don't really, the step doesn't matter. All that stuff doesn't matter. We're not doing intervals here. There we go. So now it's completely random between those two. And since there's no gap between the sets here, it's just 30 all at once, but we can do that. And then there should be a gap now. Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, there's a repeat delay of 0.2. Let's make that 0.5. Machine and add. Okay. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's working, and let's get the Y version working as well. It's here. That should be the same thing. And then we don't need the first and the last values here. So when we go up here, we need to remove the first and the last. And then do the same to the Y. Why? Because we love you. But let's do it like this. So we're going to do tilting angles X, start angle Y, and spread angle Y. What did I press? I pressed something. Not my fault. Probably my fault, but I did press something. All right, we're going to make this 0, this 90, just to get a random on the vertical, straight ahead. Oh, and we didn't choose random. Let's do random. Whoops. Get that back to 90. All right, it appears random. So now what we can do is 90 and 90 and random on, or we'll do negative to positive on the X and random on the Y. Select the right one. So it appears to be working where it's random on, it's going left to right, but it's random on the Y. And we could do random on both and just go crazy. I'll actually move the shot up a little bit. So that's just chaos. Okay. So random appears to be working. All right. The other two are going to be random intervals and random intervals no repeat. Now this is going to be one where random intervals is going to be take the intervals between the minimum and the maximum. If there's 10 shots, then the intervals are divided by 10, I suppose. And then just choose a random one of those. So it's not completely random between the range. The random intervals no repeat is going to be the same thing, but it's going to keep track of which ones were used and then not repeat any of them. But it is a work night. So it's time to leave. Just as we get to 9 people watching. My God. Well, now you know, hey, all you people watching, you should come to the Discord subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe. There's only one like. Like and subscribe. But also come to the Discord so you can get notifications of when I'm going live. Yeah. Do that. Because I said so. And appreciate this AI create art. What a world, right? What a world. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, most people would not have believed you if you had said, hey, this pig image was created by AI. The machine just created that. People wouldn't believe you. In fact, 2 years ago, you could have made a print of this and people would have assumed it was a human. Same with this. All of these AI generated artworks. Excuse me, artworks. But we're in a new world now. Like it or not, you know? Like it or not. Anyways, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to have to do these tomorrow. I might do another stream tomorrow. I did stream last night. I did a stream tonight. I might do a stream tomorrow night, although tomorrow night is the mastery group that I always forget to go to. I have been very busy lately, though, so there's a lot going on in the day job and other things. But getting back on the bandwagon for... Hello, Game Shenanigans. Getting back on the bandwagon for streaming and for getting this moving. There's a lot to do with the projectile system. It's going to be a pretty cool system. I hope you enjoy it. If you do have any thoughts about it, by the way, definitely let me know on the Discord or another stream when we're chatting. That's it. So thank you again for hanging out, and I will see you on the next stream.